What are the biggest challenges companies operating in the UAE face when it comes to meeting the UK Bribery Act adequate procedures requirement?
Well, I don't believe that the challenges facing UAE companies are exclusive to UAE companies with regards to the adequate procedures provisions of the UK Bribery Act. I believe the greatest challenges are really understanding the scope and applicability of the Act itself, and specifically the application of the adequate procedures provisions in the practical application of facts in the day-to-day business of companies. So, for example, if you look at due diligence or proportionality of procedures, what exactly does that mean precisely? And moreover, to what extent does a serious fraud office exercise jurisdiction over companies in the UAE?
Okay, thank you. And then in terms from an internal perspective, how you find the role of the legal function and compliance functions have evolved, and where do you see recurring challenges in still an anti-corruption compliance culture?
Well, I think if we're going to talk about the evolution of the function, we're really, I think, talking about the legal function, because the compliance function itself is a relatively new function, in my opinion. As far as what's evolved, well, I think it's obviously the fact that compliance itself has become very much higher on the priority agenda. With regards to the greatest challenges, obviously, I think the fact that we're operating now, or at least companies are focusing mostly on the emerging markets. If you look at anti-corruption legislation in general, obviously the FCPA still continues to be the benchmark, notwithstanding I think the inception or the launch of the UK Bribery Act. And really, as I mentioned earlier, it's very easy to look at slides and presentations or participate in forums and see these laws illustrated in slides, but I think the applicability of the issues within the context of very complicated fact patterns is really the biggest challenge. Obviously, another addition is companies are ramping up their activities in the emerging markets, and you've got a lot of new associates or employees, so in parallel, you've got the challenge of demonstrating convincingly why these issues matter to the senior executives of the company, as well as to educate appropriately through proper training, and obviously we've had challenges with that. How to properly educate our associates so that they actually understand what this stuff means within the context of day-to-day business.
Thank you, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.